Hello and welcome back to the Orlando Pride Pod here with Louder Proud Orlando. I messed up my intro completely, Luis. That was terrible, but that's okay because we're here for the pod anyway. How are you, bud?
No, doing good, doing good. Definitely excited. We've come a long way. Orlando Pride has come a long way. 10 years of Pride. I am just so delighted to say that. Double winner champions, the best team in North America and probably the world in women's sports right now. The talk of the town, putting Orlando in on the map. So, I'm definitely, the expectation is really high. They have a beautiful jersey. I do want to give kudos to, you're wearing it right now. Look at that right there. Kudos to Nike. I think it's tremendous what they've done with the jersey. And it definitely means a lot for a lot of the through thick and thin fans that have stuck around till this day. So that's for you, and it's tremendous. And Seb and Haley are definitely working, in my opinion, with hopefully another double championship, for the Pride. Now they did this 10 years of Pride celebration, which we'll talk about that today, and we'll talk about the jersey and our predictions. And I think it's going to be a great episode today, John. I'm excited.
For sure, yeah. Like you said, we'll get into 10 years of Pride, everything that happened yesterday at the event. I went down there. We'll talk all about that. Jersey, then the real fun when we get into our season predictions. We've never done this for Orlando Pride before. Something we do for the men's side. We're going to go through categories and get predictions. So you guys in the chat, feel free to get involved. We want to get your opinions. And finally, we're going to wrap it up at the end, kind of talking a little bit about Champions League or Champions Cup, because we will be in that at some point in the future. And then the Challenge Cup, which is the game in the immediate future on Friday night, Luis, against Washington Spirit. So this season, as Shinta says here, 4 days till footy. Footy is back. Woso is coming just 4 days away. So we are excited here on the pod. Let's start off and talk all about, Luis, the centennial. Sorry, not the centennial. The 10 years. Well, I guess it is a centennial, right? It's 10 years of Orlando Pride. There was a great event yesterday. It was at the stadium. It was around the concourse. Lots of the players were there. They had different stations going on. They had one where you could take pictures with the players in the jerseys. They had other areas where you get autographs. They were interviewing with the players, kind of like on the pitch where they were doing fun questions. Then there's an opportunity to take photos. All of the Orlando Pride season ticket members, Luis, got their replica jerseys, which is this one that I am wearing. And you can see on the photo I'm showing you here, all of these people wearing their replica jerseys. They're all there picking them up, which was awesome to see. A lot of smiling faces. It was just a really great event. So I want to say kudos to the club on this one. I think, for me, sometimes these things with players, it can be hit and miss. I'm not always sold on the idea of the way you do a meet and greet and all of this stuff. And I think this one was really well organized, really well put together, well thought out. Lots of fans, got a chance to meet a player or take a picture, get something signed, get their jersey. And at the end of the day, I think that's what they want. Of course, after such a historic season, it was just great to kind of celebrate and see the players live in action, as well as these beautiful jerseys, Luis. I gotta say, the Centennial jerseys And that will bring us kind of nicely onto our next topic. The Centennial jerseys are here, and they are gorgeous. Now, there is quite a difference, Luis, between the replica and the authentic. I think both are really nice. I think the replica is actually a really nice jersey in itself. The authentic is an incredible jersey. That's what I will say. Like it is beautiful. And when you see it in person, it really stands out. You can tell the players, Luis, love wearing it and know that they look good while they're wearing it. So I think they enjoy it, and you can kind of see them all walking around at the event in the New Jersey, looking great. All the Pride fans wearing their jerseys. It was just good vibes all around. Your opinions, Luis, on the New Jersey? What do you think?
It's just on it's a beautiful jersey, 110%. You have to make two different types of jerseys. I mean, to me, they both look really good. I feel, it depends on what's your budget. You know what I mean? If you really want to go spend the authentic, it is expensive. I think we live in tough times right now, but the replica, it's a nice. It has a star. I like the replica as well. I think it's a great option, and but I do feel like these brands do this on purpose. Only a limited stock on certain jerseys because they want to push you to buy the authentic. It's just the way the way of the jungle is. Adidas does the same thing. I will say Adidas is worse in a way because
There's not a big a difference in the
no,
Adidas authentic
yeah,
replica.
Adidas and to
The
me is
the
worse because
value here this the $200 is crazy, but this is a beautiful jersey. You
yeah,
know, now the replica for 110, I think is still a lot, but it is a very nice jersey in itself. I feel like the pictures really don't do it justice. I think you need to get it because it actually has a fine pinstriping going horizontally on this jersey, whereas in the picture it looks like a very solid purple color. But there is a lot more detail than that in it. So yeah, but they play that game, right, Luis? It's always the game. Make one
yeah, for
jersey
sure.
expensive and really nice, and make one a little bit cheaper and
Yeah,
not
for
quite as
sure.
not
Yeah,
quite
no,
as nice.
I love the fact that it's taking the colors of the original Pride jersey mixed with kind of what we've seen in the past few years with the Pride, with that purple, different shades of purple there, and that the blue, which I think it looks beautiful. I think, and the orange kit to me, I don't know, you didn't like it at first, but it definitely grew on you, John. I'm still trying to get the hands on that orange kit with a star.
Yeah, I mean the orange kid with the star is like you said, it grew on me, pun intended. And I feel like I'm gonna have to get that one at some point. I have obviously the replica for this new 2025 jersey, but I feel like I'm probably gonna want to get the authentic as well at some point. I have both on the men's side. I think both of them are great jerseys. And also everything with that star on, Luis, it's like,
Yeah,
yo, it's so cool. I got a hat, I got a shirt, got the double winners flag behind me. It's not often that your team wins and wins big like that. So I want to have all the merch that remembers that, and this jersey is just beautiful. So I'm excited to own it in the future. I'm sure a lot of people are excited to own it as well, and to see them play in it. I think it's gonna look really classy, really really classy.
now, do you remember Orlando's first jersey?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look at that.
There you go, dude. I remember it. I designed it. I remember working on this jersey. Yeah, that shows you how far Nike's come, right? It was literally just before you got flat patterns, nothing there. There wasn't any of this fanciness now. So as much as we get frustrated with Nike and Adidas and the pricing and all that, and it's definitely getting better from when it was 10 years ago. It's could be a lot better for sure, but they are putting more effort in. I think Nike has done better this year with NWSL than the Adidas MLS jerseys, dude.
For sure.
100%.
And And not only that, but here in this picture we have one of your faves, you know,
Yeah, I
and
don't know why you had to pick up them, Alex. I mean, you mean Kristen Evans? Yeah, she's absolutely my
no,
favorite.
Kristen Evans. Now I
Kristen
see her with
Evans
the
is
Tampa.
definitely my favorite.
I see her with the Tampa Bay Sun, man.
Yo, love Kristen Evans. Legend.
Kristen Edmonds, right there.
Legends. Of that era, my favorite player, gotta say.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, Nike, tremendous job, in my opinion. I think he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Maybe
It's a
maybe make it like $100 cheaper, but beautiful jersey.
no. The cool thing about the United States, and I'm going to say this is, look, I come from South America, dude. So you counterfeit everywhere. I mean, you're talking about like when it came on Footy headlines in December. When it leaked, well, although this jersey never leaked, but let's say Orlando City's
No,
jersey.
they leaked the replica, never the authentic. Never got saw.
Okay, so let's say when they leaked the replica, they would have already in South America made it, like, and sold it for like $20, dude. And so clubs all over the world have to battle with counterfeit. With now obviously it's different economies, right? And you have to be definitely empathetic, but here it's legit through and through, right? So see it this way, it is beautiful jersey, replica and authentic, but you're helping the club too because this goes directly to the club. I mean, technically, I mean, it's a win-win situation not only for the pride, but also for whoever's going to be sporting that jersey. Now if you get it signed, I mean, and the cool thing about the pride is there's so many opportunities fans have to have their jersey signed. It's tremendous. So, but John, it's a beautiful
Eh,
kid, man. I mean,
I
I'm
gotta
I'm so I'm
say,
so jealous. I'm jealous of you, man.
I gotta say on that too. Shout out to the players who there's so much grace and like it's like all this. You're meeting all these fans. There's so much happening, and I feel like they just do it so well with a smile on their faces and getting through it all. And I don't think any one of those fans had a bad interaction with a player at this. I think they were all, just so happy to spend the time to see the fans and some of the things they said about the support that they received last year was really heartwarming. So I also, Luis, wanted to show if anybody hasn't seen
Oh, look at
the
that.
the actual moment here. It might get a little loud, where the vault. We were all standing around the vault, and they brought the trophies, the shield, and the cup, and they actually put them in the vault. So let's watch that real quick. I mean, it's like I feel like we've been celebrating forever. This is like one of those things. Is like now we put the trophy in the vault, and it's like okay, there's so many events and things and like whatever, but it's just you keep going, right? There, you got to keep celebrating. It was an incredible achievement, and now these trophies are in the stadium for everybody to go look at and marvel. And I gotta say, they look pretty impressive in there because they are some beautiful trophies.
No, I'm proud of that moment. I mean, I wish I would have been there for sure. Definitely a little jealous of everybody that was there.
People were asking where you were, man. I said he's
Man,
he's
I had
covering the
to.
Tampa Bay Sun. He's busy.
Bro, I was the USL Super League, man. I don't want to I don't want to show what I got from the Sun, but definitely, um, I was checking out some women's soccer, and they play against Gotham, which Gotham they're gonna be facing the Pride. I think that's a W for the Pride, man. I'm telling you, because the Sun gave Gotham a run for their money, dude. And their USL Super League, they they took them to penalty kicks, dude. Yeah, and Gotham came. The coach of Gotham was he definitely does not he's not a fan of the Pride for sure. But we'll discuss it in a little bit. But I do want to say we got a new player, John. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
We got a new player that I don't know if people noticed, but We
Yo,
have
are you gonna go there? I knew it.
Mi- Kylie Strom is no longer Strom in a
N-
way. Well, she'll
Kylie
always be Strom, but
Nadaner,
Nadan
Nadaner. I think we're
Nadaner,
going with
yeah,
Nadaner.
yeah. So
Nadaner,
congratulations to
Nadaner. I don't
Kylie.
know. Yes. Also, congratulations to Ali Watt, who's also
Yeah, Ali
engaged.
Watt as
So
well.
she's going to be changing her name as well. I'm sure there was a lot of name changes in women's soccer across NWSL this offseason. So, Luis, when you see that player score and you go, "Who's that?" I don't know who that is. It's probably a player you do know who they are. They just changed their name, and you haven't got up to date yet. Um, let's read a few comments, Luis, before we
Yeah,
go
for
on
sure.
to start our predictions.
Arrow Fighter 333. Gotham couldn't even beat the Sun in regular time. 110%. And the coach was very like, oh yeah, this we've had a great preseason. I'm like, all right, man. Does that mean my Strom autograph is a legacy item? Yes, Arrow Fighter, you're completely right. Of all sad words, I didn't watch it. Why on earth did Gotham need PKs in that game? Exactly. I would say no. Not only that, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna upset a lot of people. Tampa Bay Sun took this as a real game, as a normal USL Super League game, which they gave everything because they're almost undefeated at home. They're undefeated at home, so they gave it all. Uh, Gotham came with their training kits. They didn't even wear their jersey. They treated it as a training game. They even had two water breaks, and it was freezing cold. It
I
was
feel like that's
42.
a little disrespectful
It
coming
was
in training
42
kit.
degrees. But anyways, I would buy the authentic if Nike would sell them in the unisex cut. I am too fat for the slim fit. There you
Yo,
go.
no lies though. Like I'm gonna have to go up a size. Like everyone will because the Nike Slim Fit will. Yeah, it's not forgiving, Luis.
I like the replica more IRL than in photos, but it's such a big difference. Shinta says, "Nah, the replica is booty in comparison." And she laughs. There you go.
Yeah.
Alonso, I want the orange jersey. There you go. This is Alonso. What happened to with Gallardo gloves in the legend wall? They're there, man. Right? They're there.
I think they are.
The
Um,
40s. Yep. So thank you guys for your comments.
I do want to say I know some people are like the difference between the replica and the authentic is stark, and that's upsetting. But at the end of the day, you're
Yeah.
getting a free jersey for season ticket
Exactly.
members. So anybody who's complaining about getting a free jersey, I think that's, check yourself for a second because it's a free jersey that, it's still $110 retail value. The club would have to pay like half of that
Probably
probably,
60
like 50, $60. So the club is forking out a massive amount of money to give every single
fan.
season ticket member a jersey, something that I've never got a jersey from any team I've ever been,
Not even Stoke,
you
man.
might no, God, no. I mean, it's unheard of for a team to give away jerseys. Unheard of, right? Nobody does that.
The
Jersey is your
Peter
number
Crouch
one.
picture.
It's your number one selling item. You're giving away your number one and your best. The one that brings in the most revenue. Like honestly, you don't want to give away T-shirts or hats because they'll sell. You don't want to give away jerseys. 100%. It goes against the strategies of the club trying to make money. You're giving everybody a jersey to your prime people that would buy a jersey. So I think, yes, I understand the difference, and I do see the difference. Of course, the authentic is beautiful. The replica, I still think is very nice, but I think complaining about a free jersey is wild in my opinion. So let's not do that, and let's all be happy that we got a free jersey, and get ready for 2025, Luis. Alrighty. Here we go. I've got our predictions up. Yes, it is an Excel spreadsheet. You can judge me if you will. I don't care.
Beautiful, man.
Uh, Here's all my categories. This is exactly what we do for the Orlando City, and we're going to be doing it here for Orlando Pride. So, first category, Luis. And I've also left here a category for the chat. So, the
You
chat,
go.
we want y'all to give us your opinions, please, in the chat. When we go through these, give us your opinions, and I will put it in here. And so you as the chat can have a prediction, and then we will look back. I put in here the 2024 results. And by that, I mean what would have been if we'd done this in 2024. Some of them are subjective. Most of them are, straight up stats. So I feel like we're going to see similar results in 2025, Luis. But that's a good reference for us. And as we go through each section, I will refer to 2024 and tell you, what the stat was there. So let's start. Most minutes in NWSL, Luis. Now, last year, it was Anna Morehouse because I don't think anybody ever played a game in NWSL that wasn't Anna Morehouse in goalkeeper. So she played, I believe, like every single minute of the season. Closely followed, I believe, by Kylie Strom was number 2 on my stat sheet. I have to go back and look. Who do you have for 2024 most minutes? Sorry.
Haley McCutcheon.
Also 2025, not 2024.
Yeah, 2025.
Haley McCutcheon. I like that
I
shout.
think I
That's a
think
good
it's gonna be
shout.
Haley McCutcheon. I think she she's been a player that has also is in the run of most minutes too. I think after maybe Kylie, and she's been tremendous for the Pride last season. You know, so I think John's go for Morehouse again.
Yeah, I'm going Morehouse again. I don't think she's going to lose that spot.
Yeah.
And I think, logic dictates. Arrow Fighter is going to go Morehouse. So I'm going to take Arrow Fighter's opinion as our chat opinion for today. So get in your chat opinions fast, or else someone else is going to get it in first. All right, Luis, most yellow cards. Now, last year, I had to look this one up, and there it is. It was Nadaner, or Kylie Strom, as she was referred to last year, and Marta was the other one. Both of them on 4 yellow cards for the season. Most yellow cards, do you think, this year?
I think I'm gonna go with Kylie again.
You're gonna go with Nadaner?
Nadader. Yeah.
Nadaner? We need to figure out how to say this name, bro.
Yeah, they need to update the website.
Well, they made a great video, but it didn't really help. It was cute, but I didn't help me pronounce her name. So, you're gonna go Nadaner on most yellow cards. I'm gonna go McCutcheon. Actually, weird.
McCutcheon, Haley.
Yeah. I think in that D mid role, just picking up a few yellows, making tackles here and there. Chat, who do we think is gonna have the most yellow cards? Get it in, or else you're not gonna get an opinion. All right, moving on. Most assists. This one really surprised me from 2024, Luis. I didn't realize this. Our most assists last year, Barbara Banda with 6 assists.
I'm gonna say Marta. Marta most assists.
Marta almost. Do you want to say why or just Marta? There's
No, I just think because she's definitely gonna be our starting 10, and I think either her, Angelina was gonna be my second pick. So because I think Angelina's she's been working out, to get ready for Brazil and get ready for the Pride. She's off season. She's been training hard. So either or, but I feel Marta, she's a GOAT, man. I think she's gonna have a good season, and I think we are in this Pride. We are taking care of her tremendously. I feel like all the players are extending her playing time even more because she doesn't have to be doing all these different roles in the pitch. She can just dedicate herself to being Marta, and I think that's what makes her great. So I'll go for Marta.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I feel like it's going to be an even better season than last year for her. I hope so. I mean, I feel like I would have expected her to be our leading assist leader last year when I looked at it. Was kind of shocked to see that was actually Barbara Banda. But this year, you would think with more attacking threats, right? We'll talk about who's new in the team and more balls to be able to play up the field to feed to more people, not just a few attacking threats. I feel like hopefully Marta will be that person. The chat is saying Marta or Carson Pickett, Marta. So I think chat agrees with us. It's probably going to be Marta on most assists. Alrighty, most goals. This one did not surprise me whatsoever. But with 13 goals, of course, It was Barbara Banda. Luis,
Barbara Banda.
I was gonna say, if you have anybody else than Barbara Banda, chat. If
Barbara Banda.
If you're gonna pick anybody else than Banda, you're wild. It's all Banda. Let's be real.
Alex Morgan.
I Luis, are you trying to anger me?
Tina
Um,
Leroux.
Chat, I'm picking for you. It's Banda. It's gonna be Banda on this one. We know why, and I think also year two, it really excites me, dude, man. Like I feel like you see when these players come in, they take a little time. She really didn't even really need that. Then she just got better and better as the year went on. Obviously, she was out with, international duty, and that kind of took a little bit off her. I feel like when she came back from international duty, there's a little bit of a cold patch there. And then she was hot again for the playoffs. So I feel like year two, Barbara is just going to be more consistent with more goals and just more threat. Like, I think she's going to be even better.
Yeah, I think. Look, think Haley and Seb, man. You got Priska Chalufa, you got Chanda, you got Angelina, you got Marta, you got Ali Watt, you got Julie Doyle. Look, Marta is put, and not only that, you just have Banda's drive. Banda's gonna want to have a better season than 13 goals. That's the way she is. That's the way she's shown to be. And I feel like with a one full preseason on her with the team, and now that she knows more of like the systems within the team and the coach and all of that, I think she's gonna thrive. And with
The,
two, and with a Zambian, you know,
yeah, right.
partnership right there. So
The closest to her last year was Marta with 9 goals, and then Adriana with 6, and then Summer Yates had 5 goals. So, I feel like Marta, I think we're gonna see up there. Obviously, Adriana's gone. Other players that should be getting upwards of, in the double figures of goals this year. Maybe we'll have another player that does that. But I think on last year she had 13. I think she's good for 17 to 20 this year. Really, I do. I think she's gonna at least 15 goals for Barbara, right? I think that's realistic. Alrighty, moving on to our next category, Defender of the Year. And now this is kind of like player awards that we would give. This is subjective from us. Luis, I kind of took it upon myself to put in our last year's player awards if we'd have had them. Defender of the Year last year, I gave it to Emily Sams.
Emily Sam's
I
too.
feel like it had to be. She's just for all the reasons. This year, Defender of the Year, who you got?
Emily
2025.
Sam.
Emily Sams again. Okay.
Yeah, I think Emily Sam
Can't
wins
argue
again.
with that. You want to explain why?
Well, I mean, she's just the total package. I mean, I think she's demonstrated playing as a right winger, as a right back, playing as a center back. She's poised to be one of the top defenders in the country. If she's not, she's already. We just have to have the UN's women's national team coach to see a little more. I think she's very underutilized for country, but she's definitely a pillar on the defense for the Pride. So I think to me, Sams is going to have another masterful season, and hopefully that shows more opportunities with the national team.
Yeah. The only one that I'm going to throw in there, and I think Emily Sams is a great shout. The only one that there's a couple I could see curveballs. Defender of the Year, you can include a fullback in that, right? Carrie Abello, I just feel like is just poised to have another incredible season and potentially get even better. You've also got Ohain Hernandez that's come in. That's going to be a defender at right back. Could be a real problem, a real threat in this league. We don't know how she's going to line up. Then, we got shout here for Corey Dyke, who had an incredible end of last year. Nadiner, of course. Kylie Schramm had a very good year last year as well. Emily Sams is the best amongst a very good bunch, right? You know what I mean? Like she Sams out as the best one because she is really, incredible. And the progress she went through last year, I think it's only going to go up from here. Maybe Emma should have played her against Japan, maybe that's too far to say, but every time I'm watching her sit on the bench, I'm like, yo, get her in the field, man. I don't know how I don't know why she's not getting more time with the national team. I want to see her get some more opportunities because I really feel like she is that good and can be a game changer for U.S. national team as well. So let's see. D mid of the year, Luis. Last year, I kind of went in ahead and put Haley McCutcheon in there. McClutcheon coming in McClutcheon as she did all season. So I feel like that was who I thought. Did you have anyone else maybe last year could have been our D mid of the year?
I mean, right
I
now,
thought maybe Angelina, but she wasn't there the whole
no.
time. And
I mean, we could say, I
Haley was
mean,
all consistent, man.
if we get to, I'm assuming we're gonna get to see Luana. Luana could be one that will be
Yeah.
a beautiful story, to tell if she becomes a defensive midfielder of the year. But I feel based on consistency and what she's been doing the past few seasons, Haley McCutcheon. I think I'm gonna give it to Haley again.
I think you're right, man. I think it's hard to see past Haley because I
Mhm.
think she's just so
So
consistent in
influential,
that the
man.
way that she plays. You know what I mean? And also the minutes that she put in, and I feel like you could put her out there for 90 week in, week out, and she doesn't tire. You're rotating other parts of the midfield, but Haley was like first name on that team sheet in D mid for a player that started out, obviously played there before, but was really playing right back last season. And then Seb said, go back in the D mid. You can do a role for me. But not only did she do a role, she killed it. So
Killed it,
chat
yeah.
chat has got Haley too. I'm sure she's going to come in McClutcheon for another year. All right, attacking mid of the year. I want to divide them out because I just feel like you know there's so many good players on both sides of the midfield. Attacking mid of the year. Last year I put Marta. I don't see how it could be anybody but Marta last year, probably. This year,
Well,
Louise.
Angelina was close. She had
See,
some
I would
injuries.
have to say she's D mid though. You know what I mean? Like right, I'm
Yeah.
trying to split that. She's more of a D mid.
So yeah, I mean, I think Marta would be my first choice.
Yeah, Marta for this year.
Yep.
Any other honorable mentions? Anybody else you think could be up
Well,
there?
hopefully Ali Limos.
Ali Limos. I like that. That
It'll
would
be
be
great to
nice.
see Ali
See a
Limos.
bit more Ali
Having
Limos.
a year. I think.
That'd be cool. I mean, we've got Grace coming in. She could have an
Yeah,
incredible
Grace
season.
Chanda. It's we haven't
Priska, of
seen her.
course. We don't know where she's going to line up.
Also
Ali
for
Plot
DMID,
could have
we have
another
Morgan
killer
Gottschalk
year,
too.
right? Like there's Julie Doyle
Summer.
might have a great Summer Yates is one that yeah. I feel like attacking mid we're blessed right now with so many options, but as Neil Ibsen here says, Marta is automatic on.
100%.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to look past Marta, and that's sort of why I want to divide out that those D mid versus attacking mid, Luis, because then Haley's not going to get any recognition because Marta's could always be the midfielder of the year. Striker of the year last year, of course, Banda. I feel like we don't really
Yeah,
need to.
I think Banda.
I feel like everybody's Banda. There's
Now,
not.
but I do want to say
This one is hard to go against Banda.
it could be Priska Chiliufa too.
Priska, yeah. I mean, I would maybe
It could be
consider.
Priska having this massive
I'm
season on the wing, and
I'm excited to see what Simone Charlie fit and ready to go could bring. That would be nice to have another like. I feel like last year whenever Barbara came out, I feel like we need a better replacement in striker. Like we had other players that were could go there, but we didn't have that like for like replacement. So maybe we're gonna see Priska be that player to come on for Barbara when she wants, if they want to bring her off early or whatever. I don't know, but most of the time we just leave Barbara on the whole game and let her run. Um, Alrighty, U23 player of the year. This one is interesting. Uh, Luis, last year I put Summer Yates / Corey Dyke because I just couldn't divide between the two of them. Remember, they have to be U23. Last year they were. A lot of our players are kind of
Yeah, they're
on,
24.
on that exactly. A lot of them just
Yeah.
turned like so. Emily Sams is 24. Angelina's 24. Viv is 24. Summer is 23 still, so you can have Summer. You can have Barbara, but you know I was kind of hoping we'd pick some other players here, apart from the really obvious ones, under the
Is
U23
Corey
Player
under
of the Year.
23?
Corey, yeah, 23, so she count.
So Corey's 23? I thought
Yeah,
she was
you can
24.
you can have Corey. I think she probably might have turned 24 very recently, but right now she's 23, I
Yeah,
believe, or
yeah,
maybe
she
she's
turned
probably 40.
24 in September.
Okay, she's 24 now. Okay, this
Yeah,
must have been
so
last year's ages. So yeah, I mean, who under 23 you got? You got not many. There's not many.
Summer.
We've got
Well,
some
look,
new. We got some new players
we
in.
could put young player of the year, even though all of our players are
Uh,
young. I mean, they're
I
all
don't want to push
under.
it up to 24. We could push it up to 20, U24 of the year. They all just turned
Well,
24.
if you give me
So
just overall a young player, to me, I think definitely either Brianna Martinez, because she's gonna have something to prove, after her, or Corey Dyke for sure. I think even Carrie Bell, even though Carrie Bell is 25 now, but
yeah,
I think I
so
think
many of our squad are in that prime age. They're 24 to 25.
Summer
Summer's
too.
Summer's 24 now.
Summer's gonna have a lot of minutes because I think March is gonna play only a few key games probably.
You know who I'm gonna go for, and you kick yourself if you didn't think of this person. I'm going Ali Limos because she is
Uh-huh.
21 and a true youngster in the squad, and I feel like she's gonna have a breakout year this year, man. I'm
All right.
excited.
Then I'm going for Corey Dyke. You go for Ala Limas.
He says our only U23 player is Ali Limos. Well, I've screwed us here, Luis. I've screwed it all up. All right,
Real quick.
we're gonna live on the fly change it. It's now U24
Hey, at
players,
least is
so you can have
yeah,
whoever you want.
at least it's better than all teeth.
Al, Limos and Allen are though. I'm upping it to 24. Everybody turned 24 this year. You can have Summer Yates, you can have Corey Dyke, you can have whoever you want, Luis. They're still young. Pick a young player.
No, I do want to say I know Arrowfighter saying Alan is injured still, right? Well,
Yeah.
Alan is getting better of her injury. I'm sure she'll be game ready. I'm sure, but all I'm trying to say is she looks so happy to be in the Pride. Like, I don't think she wants
You
to
don't
be loaned out,
you don't think she enjoyed her time
bro. Because
away and
I've seen her in Lexington,
I was just not
and
happy.
she looked, like Puss in Boots in the movie
Yeah.
when he goes like this with his eyes. Like, that's how she looked walking the tunnel with Lexington, wearing that horrible emerald wicked jersey looking thing, and she looks so great wearing that purple, man. So I really hopefully this is Amanda Allen this year. Hopefully. We'll see.
All right. He said, you want to go Amanda Allen?
No. I want to go Corey Dyke.
Okay, you can have Corey Dyke. All right,
I'm giving
chat.
my spirit bomb energy
Yeah.
to Amanda Allen.
Now that we have figured out, chat, that they're all 24, and I've upped it to 24 players, which, I'm silly. Who do you think? Come on, chat. We got Summer, we got Corey. Pick a U24. Let me know. Player of
People
the
are saying
year.
Yates here.
Yates. I think Summer would be the one. Let's put Summer in
Miss
for the
Neal's
chat.
coming.
And
Yates.
that way we've got a
Look, Yates is
covering
gonna
our
have a lot of
bases.
minutes, guaranteed.
I'm still all about Ali Limos, though. I think Ali Limos is really gonna have a year this year. So, player of the year, Luis, who's gonna be our player of the year?
Barbara Banda, bro. I mean, there's really no other.
Yeah,
And if it's not,
it's
it's
very
gonna
hard
be
to look past Barbara, isn't it?
yeah. Barbara is inevitable, man. She's like Thanos.
Yes, that's exactly what I think when I think of Barbara. She's like Thanos. No, it is true. She's gonna at some point get that goal. Maybe Marta, if she has an insane season, like will be better than Barbara,
Can
but
you
it's hard.
imagine
It's hard to look past Barbara if she's scoring 15, 20
at
goals.
38? With 38,
But
39.
Marta could. She totally could. But yeah, I think it's probably Banda on Player of the Year. Um, it's great that we have such star players, Luis, but they do dominate a lot of these categories. Barbara and Marta, they're just so good, and we're always gonna pick them for these predictions to be the top players in the squad because they are. NWSL season results. Okay, this one a little bit more technical. Total goals scored. So last year we scored 46 goals, Luis. We scored 46 goals on the season. Now I do want to say that I feel like last year, obviously, double winners, everything we associated with um, an incredible season. But in terms of actual goals scored, we weren't, we were like third in the season. Washington had a significant amount of more goals than us. So I do think that there is improvement to be done in the attack. And I think that that's exactly what we've gone out and done in this offseason, gone and got more attackers to be able to create more goals offensively. What do you think, Luis, this season, goals scored? What's your number on that?
53 goals.
53 goals. Okay. I like
Um,
that. I like that. Last year, for context, let's see. The most goals was Washington Spirit. Sorry, was Casey Current with 57.
okay.
Washington
Okay.
Spirit with 51, and then us with 46. So I think 53 is a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah, 53 because I mean you have Priska Chalufa, she killed it in the MX. Um, and I think our wings now we're getting players back, fit, game
Yep.
ready.
Yep.
So you bring me Kunda Jandi, you bring me Chawinga, Mawinga, bring me whoever you want. Like I know for a fact they got it, man. And when they go in transition, you got Priska on the right. Look at Priska. Priska's taller than Chawinga. And Priska's tall, and then she's powerful. Then you got Banda at the 9. Like, I mean, there's no way. And then you got Chanda more than likely, like, and you got
You got
Marta, and so
Allie, Julie, maybe
so.
Simone, Charlie. Like there's so many attackers
I
this
mean,
year.
this could be a like a home run for the Pride of signing all these attacking minded players, for sure, and maintaining their defensive core. This is something that a lot of teams don't get to do. Like we've seen in the MLS, like Orlando City right now, like they're so thin defensively, but they're so good offensively, right? So I think the Pride it's doing it very conscious in a way that they maintain their defensive core that took them to the promised land last year, and they're added even better pieces. And with all due respect, which I love Adriana, she's tremendous, and all of that, and I have huge respect for Ali Watt, but she had a massive season last year. But you're getting somebody like Priska, which was one of the best players in the MX, physically imposing. You're getting pretty much a mini Chawinga on next to Banda. So I think definitely it's poised for 53 goals in my opinion. I mean, I think that'll be great, man. I think that'll be good. I'll be surprised if it's no less than 50 goals.
Yeah, I feel like we break that 50. Chat here is saying, 55 from our fighter. Sorry, 56, 55 from Neil.
69 goals,
No, Shinta's wild. You're wild with this Shinta.
bro.
No, I was gonna read that. I was gonna read that one, Luis. I'm gonna go with I think 60. I think 60 is a good number.
Man,
I think
call
so,
me
man.
positive.
I really feel like we're gonna smash these goals this year. I feel like it's gonna be, home games are like 2 or 3 goals a game. I feel like that's the vibe. I'm gonna go 60 on that. Chat, we're gonna go with your average. We'll kind of give you like a 56. I think that's about right.
Now,
Six.
the only way, and just that I would see that the Pride does less than 46
Mm,
is if we go with massive and like we become an emergency room.
yeah,
Like
like it has to
like
be. Yeah.
like Banda out, Like you're talking about Priska out, Chanda out, Marta out. Like that would be the only way. But other than that, I think we're poised for for that.
I mean, like we said, old pop, we've just gotten stronger, in my opinion, in the offseason. I
Yeah,
don't.
we've gotten stronger,
I
my
I
opinion.
honestly think that we've had players that were older and ready to retire and move on. We've had players that weren't really being effective in the squad, and we moved those on, and we've replaced them with talents, like we said, that are proven in their markets and hopefully can come here and do that as well. So, and also we're getting players that we signed last year that feel like new players in Grace and Simone and that, and like Viv. We kind of saw a bit of Viv last year, but not a lot. So, I'm excited and I feel like it's going to be great. So let's roll on. All right, goals against, Luis. Last year, I mean, incredible defensive effort from us. We came tied number one for least goals against with Gotham, who also had 20. So both of us 20, which is wild when you consider we scored 46 goals and only conceded 20. That's what you want for a soccer team. If you're scoring twice as many goals you're conceding, you're gonna win. You're gonna win every single game on average. So, incredible defensive performance last year. Can we do better, Luis? Can we do better than 20 goals only? Only 20 goals. That's wild to me that's all we conceded. An
I'm
incredible
gonna
defense.
mimic what happened last year. 20 goals.
20 goals. Neil in the chat going with 19. Arrow Fighter saying, I think 20 again is fair, maybe 18 or 19. Like people are like really like positive, but like skeptical to go even less than
Because
20.
we've seen, like, we've last season we had injuries
Yeah.
and they were the best defense in the nation.
No, you're not wrong. And we moved
And
the
so now we got
we
everybody back.
that back line was changing every week, man.
Yeah, like we got everyone back.
And
Like
it
you
didn't matter.
remember Bree had a massive season.
Yeah.
She got knocked down. She got knocked. Boom. Corey stepped up. Tremendous against
Yeah.
Chewinga, against Kunda Jandi.
Yeah.
Like, you see,
Well, I mean, same Hafa was in there, down,
Rafa.
we're
Yeah,
gone.
so
Then you've got,
you got Carson Pickett coming in late
yeah.
also.
I think the two center backs were consistent, but the fullbacks were changing, and there it wasn't always smooth. So, yeah, I mean, I think 20 goals last season, incredible achievement. What did you say this year? You think you said
20.
less? You're
I'll,
gonna go 20.
I'll go 20. Yeah.
I'm gonna say a little more, and I don't want to be negative. I'm just really struggling to see less than 20 goals. It's wow. I'm gonna go 23. I think we
You
could
know what
squeeze
I'm ready to
a
say
few
right there at
more.
the end.
But we're scoring way more, so it's fine, Luis.
Yeah.
It's all good, I got us scoring 60 goals and only conceding 23, so we're fine either way.
Yeah.
Chat, what do you think? A little bit of consensus. We'll go for the 19 for the chat as well.
19, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Total points. Last year, of course, we came top of the table with 60 points. Closest behind us was Spirit and Gotham, both on 56 points in second and third. North Carolina I'm Casey Current on 55 points after that. And then Courage way behind the top four on 39 points. So this year, Luis, how many points? More or less than 60?
All right, so I'm gonna be going with the same number of points, 60.
60. Okay. Just equal. Same again. Same again. I mean, last year we only had 2 losses, that is wild. Like
But we also, how many draws do we get?
6 draws. So actually, Current had more draws than
So I
us.
mean, I could have said easily
So did
63.
Louisville.
I
There,
could have said
yeah.
63 points, but
We weren't, honestly, we were pretty average in the season on draws. Obviously, losses we were the least, and wins we were tied the most with the Spirit with 18 wins. So maybe we turned a few more draws into wins, but I also think a few of those draws might become losses this year. We did a very good job last year of seeing out every single game, Luis. If we continue that this year, yes, we can. We
see,
can
what I'm saying
definitely
is,
get the same amount of points. I'm I
If
think
we're
that's
healthy,
a lot. Yeah.
if we're healthy, and when I'm talking about healthy, not just Rafa being injured. No, I'm talking about our core guys, our
Yeah.
core women like
Yeah.
Haley, Carrie,
Yeah.
Marta, Banda. Like if
Mhm.
those players, like I'm mentioning, God forbid something would happen, then I would say, yeah, more L's in the horizon for sure. But I feel like that's not going to happen. So I'm
Yeah.
confident that they're going to probably repeat that 60 or even 63, like Arrow Fighter says 63.
Shinta saying those draws came before Banda got here. There was beginning of the season, was it like
Yeah,
4 draws or something before Banda got
yeah,
here?
that's
And
right.
then we started winning, maybe just with Banda alone, we can't lose
We
a
got
game.
Julie Doe and Ali Watt.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to go lower. I am gonna go lower. And the reason I'm gonna go lower is more actually
Ooh.
to do with I believe the points across the league gonna be a little bit more spread out. I think last year it was like dominant of the top 5. And I think this year, like sorry, top 4. I feel this year some of the other teams in the league have gotten stronger, right? Like your Houston's and your Bay FC and your North Carolina Courage, and those teams I think are going to pull a few more points away from the top 4. I think everybody in the top 4 is going to get a few less. So I'm going to go 57. I think 57. 3 less points for me.
Wah, wah, wah.
I
I'm
know,
just kidding.
right?
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
This
Just
guy
kidding.
is so boring. All right, chat. Do we have a number? What do you think? 63, 61? Yeah, I mean, I think we can go somewhere. Let's go
60,
62.
62. Yeah.
We're gonna average. Chat is positive. Chat thinks we're gonna get even more points than last year. So final position in the table, of course, last year, number 1, baby. We were the Shield champs, no question on that. Uh Luis, with your 60 points again, that puts us at number 1, right? It's gotta be, surely.
Number one.
Um,
Number one, baby.
does anyone in the chat not having
Number
us
one, baby.
finish first top of the table again this year? I think other teams in the league have done things, but I still think we've done a lot in the offseason. And when you performed as well as we did last year, arguably we might get stronger than we did last year. And that's what we've
Yeah.
been saying all pod.
And we got
So
more depth.
it's hard to predict us anywhere but first. I mean, and not in like a big-headed way, but it's just sort of that mentality that we have with this squad now, that we are a winning team and we expect to be winning. And when they sit down at the beginning of the season, obviously last year they said we want to go out and win it all, and they did
Yeah.
that. And they're going to sit down at the beginning of this season and make their objectives, and it's going to be run it back. So the aim is to win it all, do the double again. So yeah, I think it's going to
Now,
happen.
if the Pride wins again, the double, we are guys, and
That
this
is
I'm talking
history.
about the city of Orlando. City of Orlando, you are in the moment of living to have a team that has an actual dynasty. That's what dynasty is. Like this is just like two doubles in back-to-back seasons. Like that is
I mean, if we
that's
were to
that's
do
like a
that,
Lakers, like a Shaq Kobe Lakers
that
2003
yeah,
three-peat. That's a Miami Heat. Like it's a dynasty, dude. Like
I
it's
I think it's
Orlando's never in their mind in any sport has ever achieved that ever.
but
Ever.
not even Orlando. Like that is something. If that did happen, then that would be a record in and of itself, probably
Yeah.
for like forever or like a very long time. Like for real. Like obviously there's records of teams that have won it back to back and done
Mhm.
stuff, but no one's won the double back to back. No one's ever done that. So that is wild if we do make it happen. And that brings us, of course, on to the postseason NWSL Cup. Last year, we were the champs. I don't know why I need to tell you guys that. You were all there. But this year, again, Luis, NWSL
We
Cup,
were we?
the postseason. I mean, do you have us winning it again? Are you going prediction double
Hell
double? The
yeah.
double double?
I'm going for the double
Wow,
double, man.
going double double once
Two
again. I
times two
mean,
is four, man.
it's so positive. It almost like hurts me. I don't know how I can do it. Like I'm like, no, I could predict us to be a double winner possibly anyway. I mean, I want to, but it's crazy. I mean, I think you're right though.
If I get it right,
It's
if
wild.
I get this prediction right, guys, I need to be there on a celebration of the
Yeah.
double.
If we perform as good or better than last year, the double is very much a reality. Like it is. And I think across the season we saw that like there was a that moment with us and KC where we were neck to neck and we were up there and then we just started to leave them behind and created that gap. If we're that consistent throughout the season, we're gonna win the Shield again. And then when it came to the finals and game time, like I still think about that semifinal against KC. For me, that was the final. For me, that was the moment when we won that game where I said, this is it. We're gonna go and win now. I don't care, about for me, and the final was done in that moment. And I really feel like if we show that level of determination and in the cup again, I really I'm struggling to look past us really. And like there was a great comment here. Who was it? I missed it. I was talking about the spirit. Yeah. Arifide is saying our biggest competition is the spirit who proved ourselves against many times before. And I agree with that. I mean, I feel like Gotham, Luis, are I don't know what's going on in Gotham, right?
I'm telling you, with
It's
Gotham,
all shaky there.
yeah,
Spirit are definitely, improved. Casey Current, the other one that are going to be up there and be a real problem. Of course, there's going to be some teams that got better from last year, but like the
like
Portland,
Bay, for example, maybe.
yeah, Bay, the Portland Thorns are not what they were. They're a shadow of the organization right now. The Wave are, Seattle Rain. Houston Dash might be a lot better this year. That would be interesting to see. I do think the Bay are going to be significantly better. North Carolina or Courage, I think we'll try and close that gap into the top four. But yeah, let's see. There might be some wild cards, but I'm not. There's no apart from Spirit and Casey Current, and honestly, Casey Current worry me more than the Washington Spirit in a lot of ways. Those are the two that I think really we gotta watch out for. This might be all wrong, but based on last year, that's kind of how I'm feeling, for sure. So, our fighter
This
says
is
Houston Dash Shield winners trust.
no way.
What are you cooking there, man? I don't know what's going on with
Um,
that.
I feel that last year was the humble pie season. Thank you. We come from so far. We started from the bottom. Now we're here. This is the year in which the ones who were part of the first double, they have to play with edge. They have to play like Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash in the NWO. They gotta be cocky. They gotta turn heel like John Cena. If you watch wrestling, they gotta turn heel. They gotta have a little bit of an edge. And the new ones and the ones that missed the boat last season, they need to eat humble. They need to be humble pie, and they need to outperform. They need to have more of a consistent season, not get injured. And like for example, the newcomers, Priska, Chanda, Simone, Charlie, like score goals, assist, outperform. If that happens, I think we're poised to have another double, in my opinion, because, like you said, depth wise, name wise, I think we're so stacked. It will be so hard against Washington or Kansas City for somebody to definitely do some damage on us. So let's hope for that. I think I'm super positive, that this team can make a history again,
I
for
think
sure.
it's wild we're sitting here, Luis, previewing the Orlando Pride season, talking about them being the double double winners. Like, how far have we
And
come?
not only that,
It's
like
the look at us now meme. Like what are we
winning,
doing?
and not only that, like people were saying, I think it was a comment right here. Better the stadium be packed, I mean, we truly like if this is the double if this is a dynasty or is poised to be a dynasty, we gotta do better.
Yeah. I know that season tickets are up. I know there's a lot of people that came interested last year that are now becoming season ticket members.
A lot of
The
city
free
fans.
jersey, that's going to help that, you know. So I am hoping for better attendances this year. The players want that. They were talking about it at the 10 years of Pride. You know, they love that semifinal game. They absolutely loved it because it was 15,000 people. It was rocking. The whole stadium was behind them, like it should be, and it should be like that every game. It might take a while to get there, but I really hope that we see some growth this year on that. Alrighty, so everybody has us champs, double champs, the chat as well, dude. I feel uneasy with all this positivity, man. We need to have some negativity out here. Alrighty, let's move on, Luis, to talking about the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Yeah, baby. We are in the competition this year. Of course, we are a Champions Cup team. This is a competition that literally only started in 2024. It's the first ever iteration they have had of the CONCACAF, Women's Champions Cup. The competition started, you can see here on screen, Luis, August 15th of 2024. The schedule on this blew my mind. I can't understand. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. So you've got the early rounds. You've got here you go. You got the Whitecaps, the Fae, whatever. They're all playing each other. Wait, no, hold on. This one. Oh yeah, this is the right game. And then as you come down here, we're getting into later stages. October, blah blah blah. And then what happens is there's literally 6 months before the finals. And I don't understand why they did this. And I need somebody who might understand to explain to me why the CONCACAF Champions League decided that we're going to have games in October and then wait to have the semifinals and finals until until May 2025. So we've gone from August 2024 when it started. It won't end until May 2025. So based on this timeline for us joining the CONCACAF Women's Champions League Cup, this year, it's going to be August is when we join. Last year, the first games were played August 15th on, midweek games. So, and then based on that, if we go far, we're not going to know until we win until 26 May, which is wild to me. All side words here with some explanation. I'm very curious to see how we do in the group stage once it begins. I'm trying to go to Monterrey for the final. And she says because they wanted to hold the final at the same time as the women's in the Champions League, right? I believe that's what we're talking about, the UWCL.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's wild. I don't understand why it's doing this. I think it's very strange. And also just, you've got 6 months between one stage of the tournament and the next. The tournament is completely two different tournaments at that point. So maybe there's some reason. I kind of understand what you're saying. They want to line up with the European tournaments, but these are all teams that don't play on the European schedule. So why are you doing that? It doesn't make any sense. It's the CONCACAF do very strange things. We know on the med side they start in February, the beginning of the season, Luis. It's very odd. But anyway, enough of all of that. All of that to come back to say we are, of course, in the Champions Cup this year, Luis. Obviously, we might not know the result of this until 2026 at this rate. But how do you think we're going to do in the Champions League, at least the part that we're going to play this year, which is the early rounds of the tournament?
Look, with all due respect to all the other teams in North America, this whole tournament is poised for a American team to win it. And I know this is gonna sound bad, but again, look at it in a logical sense of the way. Experience, growth of women's sports in those particular countries. Um, and again, I know it's controversial sexism. I mean, it's just there's sexism everywhere, but I mean, talk to somebody from El Salvador. I'm and also physicality. A center back in El Salvador for Alianza FC is probably 165, probably 5'8" or 5'6". Like, but Emily Sams is like triple their size. It's just unfair, So the closest things that could come to competitiveness, it would be Tigres, Pumas, Monterrey, and even then, how did Orlando do with their B team or C team in the summer MX Cup or whatever that was called, Summer Cup? I think we did pretty okay. I mean, I know that we didn't get far, but I think we did against Mexican competition pretty good. I think so. I know it sounds a little cocky, but I think it's a possibility that we may compete if we get to keep those players, and the level of play that we're showing in the NWSL, mimic it to the first stages are probably going to be played by our B team, and the later stages could be played by the 2026 Orlando Pride,
Yeah.
which is why Gotham, and I do want to say this is the reason why Gotham had friendlies in their preseason.
Yeah.
They went to England and played a couple of games there. They went to Spain, and my understanding is they also play against the Sun. And the reason why they play against the Sun, according to people from the Super League,
Mm.
is Kristen Edmonds. So Kristen Edmonds, when they signed Kristen Edmonds, the Suns signed Kristen Edmonds, they arranged this match because they knew that they were going to need a sparring team to go because of they're in the semifinals. And so Orlando's going to have to do the same thing, in my opinion. I think we're in the same boat as Gotham this year. We're going to be in the same boat next year
Yeah.
for
I
the
mean,
Champions League.
May isn't too bad. Like, it's in season for the final stages if we get there, but which I'm presuming we will. But I just think it's crazy. It's like 6 months between two parts of the tournament. That's absolutely wild to me. So yeah, I agree with you, Luis. I'm like, the only teams that are even remotely good in North America outside of NWSL are the Liga MX teams, and
Unfortunately, I
those
mean,
we've seen the standard there. I mean, we played the B teams against them in the Summer Cup and didn't really look that far off the pace, So it's. I love that we're in the Champions Cup. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool. It's going to be amazing. But we've seen how this tournament is run on the men's side, and I don't have high hopes for how they're going to run it on the women's side. I just think CONCACAF they're just not good. Honestly, I think they're behind the curve. They're trying to be Europe, and they're just not there. And I think, you know, it's the beginning of the new season. We've had no announcements officially that we're going to be in this tournament. I think obviously we're going to be in it. Like, we won the double, but like they haven't said, oh, by the way, who's going to be in it? This is when it's going to be, all that stuff. It's like I'm finding out information based on what very little information we can find online. No one's writing articles about this. No one's, doing stuff on it. When the games are on, it was covered. But in my opinion, for what you expect with a Champions Cup and the way that it's heralded in Europe and looked at in Europe, you talk about Arsenal and Chelsea and what they're playing in their Champions Cup, way more prestigious, way
yeah.
more. And so the Champions Cup here doesn't have that level, but like CONCACAF could get there. They just need to figure their stuff out. So,
It's
enough.
because
Sorry.
they want to mimic the men's with the women's, and
Yeah,
I
but the
think
men
this,
suck. So that's even, what I mean?
and I
They
think
don't
this is,
do either well.
I understand this is the opportunity that the women, in my opinion, have if they want to do international games. Why can they do Copa de las Americas or something, right? And you grab the best teams from Brazil, from Argentina, from Peru, from Ecuador, North America, Mexico, and you do a World Cup style tournament to determine the best team in the world or something, or and then the final plays against the European champion or whatever. So I think that will be a better quality tournament than just this, because this is just too easy. Sorry to say, it's just because of it. I'm gonna be completely honest. El Salvador, Jamaica, the how much do they invest in women's sports? Barely nothing. Barely nothing. Scrapes, nothing compared to the United States. So it's unequal in a way. You're playing against the Alianza FC in El Salvador. You put it against the Pride, and the Pride are gonna score like 7 on them and stuff. Like it's gonna be that much of a difference. And their pitches are different. They don't have the quality. And I'm telling you because I've seen it in South America. I've seen it in Peru. They don't have the proper equipment to train. They don't have fields to train on. The men's team don't lend them. They don't share a stadium just like the Pride does with the city. They don't do that over there, so, because there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of BS, in my opinion, because they don't regard women's sports highly in some of those countries. So it is a matter of, if yes, we want our conference to mimic Europe or mimic South America, but grab those South American teams that are competing, Copa Libertadores, Sudamericana. Go grab those Corinthians, Santos,
Yeah.
the Argentinian teams where La Roquette is playing, Newells, and go, and that's your competition. In my
Yeah.
opinion, that'll be a little bit tougher
I
than
feel
just
I feel like it's
getting.
always difficult to get all these
Yeah,
organizations to work together, like
yeah.
CONCACAF and Copa America.
And
It just doesn't.
Ball, yeah,
CONMEBOL, sorry, it just doesn't always work out that way. So
yeah.
as
It's
much as I'd love that, and
politics.
I think you're right. I think it would be a good, like, I would love to see us play
Or like even
Corinthians
a Copa
and
de la Reina. Would you like
like
to see a
that.
Copa de la Reina?
Yeah,
Like something like Copa or like FA Cup, but here against
I
USL Super League and NWSL
that's what we
playing
want.
together?
I just feel like when we say, "Hey, we're in the Champions Cup," you think, "Oh, that's awesome," but in reality, it's not quite as exciting
Yeah.
as it should be. So, but regardless, Luis, enough bagging on CONCACAF.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good. I'll do it all day. But what do you think? Then we're gonna win. I mean, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to like an NWSL club against the NWSL club in the semis and
Yeah.
the final. Like we're looking at here, right? Like it's probably gonna be like Gotham or somebody that wins like this year's, like, so
You met. I mean, I have full faith that we can win this.
yeah. I mean,
But if I say I have full faith, that means that we will win 4 trophies in 1 year. Well,
dude, wild. It'd be the
we would be
quadruple.
like the FC Barcelona winning, like, it'd
Just end
be,
the season here. We're taking the
you
quadruple
know
home.
bring
Wild.
up bring on
Yeah.
whoever you want,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. So you're gonna go champs? You're gonna do it? Are we
yeah,
just winning
champs. Let's do
everything?
champs.
Oh
Yeah,
my
let's do
gosh.
champs, man.
Luis. I mean, we're not gonna know until 2027 at this rate. So chat, you're gonna have us champs. I'm assuming you are. And last but not least, that brings us on to a wonderful way to close out our show and prepare, Luis, for the beginning of the season, the NWSL Challenge Cup. Something that don't, if you've never had a team that's been in one of these, you're probably like, what is this? This is, the Super Cup or the Community Shield or whatever you want to call it. It's when the cup winner and the league winner play each other. In England, it's the FA Cup winner and the, you know, Premier League winner would play each other in the Community Shield, whatever you want to call that. Here we have the NWSL Challenge Cup. We are both double winners, of course, but
What?
you can't play yourself, Luis. You can't play yourself. As much as I would love to see us, Pride A versus Pride B lift the
You know
cup.
what? It would be cool.
Um,
A cooler concept.
yeah,
Pride picking a team from all over, anywhere in the world, and
yeah.
advertising that team, doing the social media thing and videos and the story of that team that they're picking, why they're picking this team, interviews.
Mm,
You're promoting another club within a huge market, like, here in America. rather than doing that, because it's to me it feels a little boring. I know it's a little bit of a like you want to face Trini Rodman again and all of that, but I don't know, man. It would be cool like for Orlando Pride to challenge like FC Barcelona, right, or Real
Yeah.
Madrid, or
I mean,
you know,
I think in the summer, Louise, there is scope for that, and I think they've talked about the schedule this year. There's no summer cup. I think that was a potentially a failed experiment that I don't know if they're going to bring it back, but
well the
right now,
Gotham,
right now it's like every club has free reign to do what they want during that time. Of course, a lot of the, players will be away but I'm hoping that's when we see Orlando Pride versus Arsenal or Orlando Pride versus whoever, sorry, Leon or,
yeah, the
Bayern
Pride
Munich,
coach,
please.
the Gotham coach,
Yeah, like
which the footage that I went to the all of that for the Sun is going to be up on Tuesday.
mm,
Um, so he said th- the NWSL sometimes don't know. He in a nicer way say NWSL doesn't know what they're doing sometimes when it comes to the cups, because now we had a summer
yeah,
cup last
and
year
then
and
they
now
get
this
rid
year we
of
don't
it.
have anything.
Yeah.
So more than likely, there's going to be opportunities for us to play against other USL clubs in the future for sure. And I think other NWSL clubs are going to look into the USL to play in intra league, because there's nothing going on. So
Yeah.
um, why not? So it was interesting. I just wanted to mention that.
No, for sure. I mean, I think this it's a new league. I'm very happy with the NSL overall, but there's going to
Mhm.
be growing pains. And I think I'd rather have a league that says, okay, the Summer Cup didn't work. We're gonna just scrap that and try
Retire.
something else instead of trying to make it work, right? So, no commit, no
like
problem with
like
that. Yeah,
like the
like the league,
MLS.
yeah, like the League's Cup, 100%.
Like,
Um,
I hate
uh,
the Leagues Cup, man.
let's not get onto that. All right, NWSL Challenge Cup. This is the one that matters. This is going to be this Friday, 8 o'clock. It's kind of like the season opener, even though this is
Yeah.
technically not for the season. This is a trophy on its own. So this is our first opportunity to win silverware right out of the gate against a team that obviously we know well from the final and everything that went down there. So this is going to be obviously at the stadium, Inter and Co. at 8 o'clock. It's going to be on Prime. So if you're not somebody who's able to come down for this game, I know the Friday night games are awesome. I think they're great, Luis, but it's difficult for people, for you, for others to get out there for a Friday after work game. So I think it's going to be interesting. I know it's sponsored by Google, so I'm hoping the NWSL is going to do something here. If this just feels like a regular NWSL game, Luis, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I need to feel like the NWSL Challenge Cup is different from a regular game, right? It needs to have a little bit to it to kick off the season. That's why they want it. They want a big matchup to start the season, just like they would in other leagues around the world. I'm all for it. I've never watched my team be in one of these games ever, where the winners play another team. So let's see. But I think the club and the players are looking at this as the beginning of the season and an opportunity to kind of start on the right foot and prove themselves once again against potentially their biggest competition.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that is gonna come gung ho to defeat Orlando. They feel the loss against Orlando as a humiliation. They still look us as we are the ugly ducks of the league. They do not acknowledge what we've accomplished last season with a double. And yes, it is competition and it's competitiveness, and they have athletes too, and they're tremendous athletes. Don't get me wrong, but we need to shut them up. I mean, that's the attitude that we need. We need to go there. The fans need to be rowdy, crazy, you know, and we need to shut them up because there's a lot of. I mean, number one, I'm going to say that horrible jersey. What kind of yellow is that? Like that's a highlighter yellow. That's like
apparently it's fierce. I think it's highlighter yellow.
fear
I'm with you. It's
from Inside
fierce.
Out.
No, fierce. Like it's
Oh,
like
I
it's
thought it was fear from
like it's
Inside Out.
strong, like it's
Yeah,
vibrant, like it's proud, but it's
mhm.
highlighter yellow, bro.
It's like a freaking highlighter. But either way, aside of the jersey, I just think that we need to shut them up and start the season with in a high note. And it's gonna be a trophy. It's gonna be for also great exposure for Orlando Pride against fans that might have not been able to put the eyes on the product. That as soon as their season started, they got a trophy. like you know, it makes you want to start your team on the right note and your season on the right note. And I am hopeful that this is going to be a 2-0 win at home against the Washington Spirit, man. I mean, I think they're going to give it all. Now, you have to understand, they're going to play dirty. They're going to look for the foul. They're going to fall. They're going to create a whole commotion. They're going to try to talk to the ref. They're going to pull that. They do it every time we face Washington.
Rodman's gonna Rodman.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, man. I mean, we saw it in the final. I think there was a lot of that, like, I feel like they just didn't play well enough in the final, and some of their fans and social media wanted to blame us, like we were dirty in that game. I think that's a wild accusation to make. I think the one that really bothered me was that moment where Rodman, took a
yeah.
dive, and then the ref, gave, I think it was Carey a yellow or something. It's it's stuff like that it just shouldn't be in the game. So Shinta saying, is Rodman even going to play? I don't know. I mean, you would assume so. Like, you assume that they would care about this game, so she's fit. Like, I think Washington's going to look at it the same as, like, this is their opportunity, right? To make up for the final. They're going to want blood. Like, they're going to be sad, and pissed about what happened, and they want revenge. So, it could definitely be a challenge for us. But I think, like I said before, Orlando Pride just want to reassert their dominance early in the season here, right? Come out of the gates with another win over Washington and just say, "Oh yeah, remember us? We're still here and we got stronger." But I'm excited to see all the new players, Luis. I think it's I would say we should do a lineup prediction, but I feel like that's really hard to do. First game of the season. Do you have a rough idea if who you'd start in this one?
Well, yeah, for sure. I could tell you. I mean, I could tell you it's going to be Morehouse.
Yeah.
It's going to be Dyke, Sams, um,
Nadano?
Nadenair, and Abello. You're going to have Haley and Morgan.
You think Morgan? Okay.
Yep, I think they're going to play with a double pivot. Marta, Priska, Banda, and then on the left, you're going to see Summer Yates.
That's interesting. I've different. I would say Angelina's probably going to be in there. That's my over Morgan. That would be my
I think I will
personal
bring Angelina
preference.
to open up the floodgates.
Yeah. Well, that's true too. I just think Angelina's going to have a big year.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. That's another one. Yeah.
I feel like she's going to ball out. But
So you say the midfield should be
I would go Haley Angelina. I think
Haley,
that's
Angelina,
yeah.
Marta.
I think
Yeah,
that's going to
yeah,
be
that's
most of our
solid.
time. I think Summer is the one that I it's hard to leave her out, but I think she could get left out as much as I like to see her starting in that left wing position. I don't know if she is going to get that start. I think last year she played really well, but there's so many options. You got Chanda, you got, Priska, you've got Julie and Allie, right? Allie Watt deserves to start on that right wing, in my opinion, right now. Like, she ended the season so well. So are you going to give these new players, Luis, like, just straight out give them opportunities in the starting lineup?
I
Um,
think
you
I
know,
think we. I mean, this gonna sound so bad. Washington's gonna come for the kill. They're gonna play very physical from the beginning.
yeah.
I would rather have somebody that it's fresh,
Yeah.
literally, than losing a core part. Like for example, Angelina, right?
Yeah.
And we know Angelina could fall into injuries, right? She's done it throughout the season last year. We have not have her for international and also for injuries. So I would hate for example, for Rodman to or Hatch to go on a tackle and takes her out for like 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Rather than maybe we could Morgan can withstand, and because of being a more of a defensive minded player, is more careful on those type of aggressiveness. And once we have that aggressiveness down and we're up 2 goals, then you bring Angelina, you open the floodgates and you let them come, and maybe we can score two more on them at that
Yeah.
point, right?
I could
But I
see
think
that.
it's just kind of playing it safe, because if you just go all out on this, I just feel like
Yeah.
they're gonna also come. I mean, they don't like us. I mean, you're talking about you have a coach, and I don't want to say this Giraldes, this guy doesn't like us at all whatsoever. I mean, the way he's expressed himself with he said that everything in the U.S. He said the level of the player in America is high too, but everything is related to the entertainment. So they're talking about how Spain is all these great, it's great and great in Europe and knocking down here where I mean, bro, like kind of sounds like you're knocking down the own league, you know what I mean, where you work at. It's you have a coach that thinks that way, in my opinion. He just doesn't like what the Pride is doing, clearly. And for also I heard from Gotham when they introduced me in a way to the coach, and they said that I cover Orlando Pride. Like he's like, oh, by the way, we're not thinking about the Pride yet. We're thinking about the rain first. That's what he said to me in the because I asked him a question. You have a
Yeah.
tough schedule ahead. I told him you have a tough schedule ahead with the rain and the Pride, double
Yeah.
winners. I told him double winners. Um, do you think the game against the Sun helped you in any way, offensively, defensively? And he's like, oh, we're thinking about the rain first, though. We don't want to talk about the Pride right now. Like he kind of checked on me. Maybe because they don't like what the Pride is doing right now. You know what I mean? I just think the Pride is gonna need to definitely go and play smart in this game, and I have full faith that they're gonna get a win. You okay, John?
Yeah, man. I'm agreeing with you entirely. I feel like this is gonna be the for me the beginning of the season, but also I feel like the new look of the Pride this year, right? We're gonna learn what are the changes from last year. What are we gonna see? And I don't know if we're gonna see like all these new players get starts immediately. Maybe, maybe not, right? Like Ohanin Hernandez, you think that she's probably been brought in to potentially be a starter. Is she going to get in there kind of instead of Corey Dyke? Same with Grace Chanda. We're talking about maybe she'll get a start. We don't know. I think Seb is gonna start with the players from last year, and go, okay, you're the ones who know my system, know how to do what we're doing, and then everybody else can, of course, is getting involved, but I don't think are going to be in the starting lineup. I won't be shocked if we see a starting 11 that's the same as last year, and then he brings on the new players off the bench in this one. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's kind of where I'm going. I think Seb is going to keep it as is, and let the new players learn how we do things here at Orlando Pride.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that could be it too. I mean, again, the Pride is stacked of talent, so we just gotta be careful to definitely start our thing. Even though the Challenge Cup, it is important to me. I feel, and I know, to me, I feel like I would rather, you know, play smart in this game than give it go all out, and then having 2-3 injuries after that. You know what I mean? And especially with the NWSL schedule, which is worse than any other league. It's so tight. All the games are back to back. It's very physical, very fast. So let's see, but I have full faith it could be a W for the Pride again, hopefully against the Washington Highlighters.
The highlight, I love that. All righty. So in the Challenge Cup, you're saying we're gonna win?
So Four, man. If we get four trophies in
Luis,
1 year,
Luis,
man,
are both of us predicting that we win everything?
we better get
'Cause
invited to that after party.
this makes me feel weird. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with all this positivity over here, but yeah, I mean, it's if we're the best team in North America and we're winning the NWSL again and the double, then we're gonna be the best team in the Champions Cup.
In the world, man.
And the spirit, like, that's one game, this Challenge Cup. It could go either way, right? It's just one game, but it is an opportunity to lift silverware and put another piece in the vault like we just did recently. So that was a very long pod from us, Luis. That's
Yeah, man.
a long one for the Orlando Pride, but there was so much to talk about here as we get ready for the season. I'm excited. I don't think I've ever kicked off a season with so much optimism, Louise. We're
Yeah,
sitting
same
here,
here, man.
we're sitting here predicting quadruple winners, which is wild. But hey, I can't pick a hole in it. I can't pick a hole in it. We're just that good, and the vibes are so high from last year. I really hope that the team gets out there and performs like they did last year, and we just keep this train rolling with the good times, Luis, because last year was so much fun. And I expect more from the players this year and more of the same.
For sure. Before we go, let's read some comments real quick. Shinta0013, hell yeah. What does it is her position to lose at the moment, in my opinion. Really hope Chend is healed and ready to go. Man, that'd be great. Shinta, yeah, Angelina definitely over Morgan, and Priska isn't starting, in my opinion. There you go. Haven't seen her since the final, says Shinta. Thank you so
That
much.
was Rodman, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she will, says of all sad words. Rodman is such a whiner, says Arrowfighter333. Shinta, is Rodman even gonna play? And then she was laughing emoji. There you go. Arrow Fighter 333, Pride 3, Spirit 1. Man, that'd be great. Pride
Yeah.
definitely got Spirit. Yeah, I mean they got a beautiful
We
jersey.
we didn't actually predict, Luis, what the score will be
Yeah.
for
All right.
I'll go 2-1.
2-0 Orlando.
It's vibes. That's vibes, man. The availability report of who is available, probably, I don't know if they'll do one for Challenge Cup. Maybe they will, like they do for the league. So
Now,
later in the week we'll know who's available for this game,
all of
and
that,
whether
all of
Ralphie
that
is
it's
going to play.
being handled by the
We lost Luis. No, Luis, you froze on me right at the end of of the pod here. Maybe Luis will come back in a second. If not, I want to tell you all to go ahead and follow us on social media. Please, you can follow us on Instagram. We are at LPO Loud and Proud Orlando. You can find us on X at LPO_podcast. You could also find us on Blue Sky as well. We are on there as well as Loud and Proud Orlando, Facebook Loud and Proud Orlando. We also run multiple Facebook groups for Orlando City, and we're in the Orlando Pride NWSL Champions group as well. So Luis is completely frozen. I've lost him. So I want to say thank you to all of you that were here today on the pod and on the stream. You guys are all awesome in here with your chats, giving us your predictions for the season. We're very excited and we cannot wait to cover Orlando Pride for you guys once again here in 2025. Appreciate y'all, and vamos.